Hello, everyone, and welcome back to That's So Matthew. I am so excited to have a very special guest here with me today, Saishaa from the Brown Girls Rising podcast. Say hi.
Hi, I'm so excited to be here.
I am so excited to have you here. We have been kind of planning this little collab, I guess you could say, for a couple months now.
Yeah, I know. It's definitely, we've been talking about it for a few months, I guess.
Yeah, and now we're here. We're better than ever and so excited to share our thoughts with you guys about Camp Rock 2, the final jam.
Yep, definitely. I love this movie.
Oh, me too. I love this movie. Actually, I don't know. I wouldn't say I love it, but like it's a good time watching it. Like
I agree with what you mean. I like the first one better, definitely, but it's a good movie.
Yeah, it's a really feel-good movie. Like when I was watching it last night, I was doing homework because I need to multitask because I'm drowning in like all these things I need to do. And
Yeah.
I was watching it and I was just like bopping to the music, you know, like getting in a good mood.
I know. The music is really good, I think.
The
I mean, especially the first, I know we're not talking about the first movie, but the first movie's music is like definitely some of my favorite Disney Channel songs.
I know, these are so good. This whole franchise is like, I mean, it's only two, but such a good Disney Channel original movie. But before we get into our thoughts about the movie, the characters, the plot, all that good stuff, I want to give Saishaa the floor and she can talk about her podcast, what she does over on there.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah, so I'm Saishaa, as already established. I host the Brown Girls Rising podcast, and my podcast is about empowering South Asian girls, which is important to me, and it's always been important to me. And I mean, I haven't been doing this as long as Matthew has, but I really enjoy it, and I think it's like definitely changed my life in like this really positive way, and I've also feel like through this whole podcasting experience, I've also made so many like new friends, which is so fun, and I really enjoy it.
Yes, me too. You guys definitely need to check out her podcast. I'll have the links in the show notes below. I was
Thank
just
you.
listening to her episode that she did with a TikTok star, a famous
Yeah.
TikTok star. That is so exciting. And I know that she has a lot of fun things planned. So go check her out on Instagram, TikTok, all the places. All will be linked below. So I guess I always share a fun fact about myself because I don't know, I'm a narcissist, I guess. And so today's fun fact is that this is coming out the week of my podcast anniversary, which is
Ooh.
really exciting. 2 years of podcasting, which
When's your podcast anniversary?
March 27th.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah.
Wow, that's pretty cool. So your anniversary is spent in quarantine.
Yes, I was in quarantine and I was like super pumped about like my anniversary, but because I was in quarantine and all my friends were in quarantine, I just recorded like a bunch of episodes and every single day that week I published a brand new episode.
Wow, that's pretty cool. That's really cool. I admire that
It
motivation and
was
that
it was a
dedication.
lot.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely know. And like I don't know exactly how much you do because I tend to leave my podcast as unedited as possible, just because I feel like you should like have the real deal part of the conversations also when you say and like too many times, um but it's still a lot of work to go back, listen to the whole thing. If you need to split it, then you have to like get all the different parts, and it's just so annoying. I don't know. I know you use a different, I think, app to edit than me, but it's still really
Yeah.
annoying.
It's a lot. I will definitely give you that because like I add background music, you got to split it, you got to make
Yeah.
the voices loud and trim everything up. I definitely do a lot of editing. It's definitely
Mhm.
a lot of work. I used to not edit at all, but I learned my lesson. But yeah, so this comes out my podcast anniversary and then also I have my like anniversary special that's coming out the day after this comes
Ooh,
out. So stay
that's
tuned
pretty cool.
everyone.
Anniversary special, get hyped.
Yeah, get hyped, everyone. It's gonna be really exciting. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I almost closed out my tab with all my notes and stuff in it, so we're good.
Yeah, yes, super sidetrack, but yeah, yesterday when I was recording with the person I was recording with, I just like my screen time limit like came on Instagram where it had like all my like notes for like what to ask her.
No.
So it was just this whole mess. I was like typing in my password, trying to like get back to the notes. It was just really funny.
Oh my gosh. I that would be very I would not be able to do that. Also, I really really enjoyed that episode. I'm not all the way
Oh,
done with it
thank you.
yet, but it was really good. So everyone go check it out. All right, Camp Rock 2, the final jam. Let's get into it. So, a brief overview because I love my brief overviews here on the podcast. It is a 2010 Disney Channel original movie, which means it's
Yeah,
11 years old.
that's kind of scary. Not gonna lie.
I think it is scary because I think this was one of the first DComs that I ever remember, like actually sitting down and watching when it
Oh,
came
really?
out, like
Yeah,
back in
I did.
2010.
I watched it for the first time when I was in sixth grade because I actually wasn't allowed to watch Disney Channel until I think I was 9 or 10, because my parents thought it was inappropriate. And then we went to like we went on like a trip with a family friend, and they were younger than us, and they were watching it. So then we were allowed to watch it. And the first Disney Channel thing I ever watched was this episode from the second season of Jessie, and it was like when Emma was in like a plastic doll thingy. That's all I remember. But yeah, that's how I got into Disney Channel, and then I watched Camp Rock and Camp Rock 2 when I was at I forgot if we watched the first one or the second one, but we watched it at like a friend, like one of my sister's friend's house in like sixth grade.
That's so funny because I could not watch Nickelodeon for a long time. Disney was okay.
I've never watched Nickelodeon either. I wasn't allowed to watch SpongeBob.
I wasn't allowed to watch
Yeah.
SpongeBob either.
Yeah, I know. There's like definitely some shows that when you're little, you're like wondering why your parents didn't let you watch them, and then when you're older, you like understand why.
Yeah, all my cousins would like be obsessed with SpongeBob and I couldn't even watch it. And it's like it's
Yeah.
really funny to me. But back on to Camp Rock 2, it stars Demi Lovato, all three of the Jonas Brothers, Joe, Nick, and Kevin, along with Megan Martin, Maria, I always say her name wrong, Kanal Barra, I think, and Daniel Fathers, as long as Allison Stoner, which is super exciting. And in a brief plot, I guess we could say before we get into like the deep plot, is that Mitchie, who is played by Demi Lovato, returns to Camp Rock for another summer along with her boyfriend, aka Joe Jonas, Shane Gray, and they are pulled into a whole whirlwind of adventures when a new camp is opened across the lake. Oops, well, I don't know why I even said Camp Star, which steals all of their campers practically and basically could lead to the end of Camp Rock. Dun dun dun. I think that's a pretty good like one sentence summary.
Yeah, that is. I enjoy that.
Thank you. I usually like try to make it up on the spot because I don't want to be like
Too scripty.
yeah, because I want to like be loose, feel free, you know.
Yeah,
Uh,
I know what you mean. That's what I was saying that like, I feel like if you have too much of a script, then it kind of gets, I don't know. Sorry, I ramble a little bit when I
oh
get
my gosh, it's
nervous,
okay.
but
I ramble all the time. It's totally okay. And if you're nervous, it's okay because I'm nervous too.
I don't even know why. I just like, sorry, randomly like I start a sentence and I'm not sure how to finish it, basically.
That's
I'm pretty
okay.
sure that's a quote from The Office, but
Love The Office.
that's
It's
what
a
I
great
do.
show. So it came out on September 3rd, 2010, which is super exciting, which means I was like 5 years old at
Yeah,
that point.
yeah, I was 6, but
Yeah, so that's pretty cool. It's actually right before my birthday, which is also super
oh, that's
exciting.
cool.
So I guess we can just honestly get right into our characters. So up first we have Demi Lovato who plays Michi Torres. Yay, I love Demi Lovato, first off. Also, she has a new haircut. I don't know if
Yeah,
you've
I
seen
was
it.
just the bangs.
It's so good. And she also
Yeah,
performed at the inauguration, which I thought was super cool. She performed this one song that I hear on
Super Bowl.
TikTok. No, I don't think it
Yeah,
was this.
she performed the national anthem in the Super Bowl last year.
Oh yeah, last year, and I
Yeah.
think she did perform at the inauguration this year, which is
Oh,
super
really? I
exciting.
didn't know that.
And she performed the song. I think it's called like New Day or A Lovely Day. Lovely Day. I don't know. It's on
Something like
TikTok. I
that.
don't know.
Yeah.
And so it was really good. If you want to look up the performance when you have a chance, I thought it was good.
Yeah, I will.
And so Demi Lovato, love her. She also is rocking pink hair too, so I love it. She looks like she's having the time of her life, which I think she deserves.
Mhm.
And so in the film, Demi Lovato is playing a young teenager. I guess not really young. She's probably like, I don't know, 17, 18 at this point.
Yeah.
And she's aspiring to be a singer, which is exciting. And this is her second year at Camp Rock. I don't know. At points in this movie, I
Yeah,
kind of
wait, wasn't she not a camper in this movie, or was she
she was
still
like
a
a counselor.
Yeah.
Cause like spoiler alert, like all their counselors like go and like over to the other camp, and so like all like most of the older campers become counselors,
Yeah,
which was
yeah.
weird. It was weird. It was kind of weird.
So she was like in that stage where she was like a CIT basically.
Yeah, like if anyone's ever seen the show Bunked, that's on Disney, kind of
Oh,
like that. Not
yeah.
my favorite, but
I know. I think I watched the first maybe season, and maybe I think I watched up until when like Kerr and Brar left and like those three new
oh
kids came
yeah, like
along,
I
and then
think
I
that's
stopped watching
season
it.
3. I don't know. I don't really watch it that much
Yeah, I
because I'm
know.
kind
I
of
haven't
salty
watched.
that they got a 5th season, but like some of the good Disney shows didn't get
They got a
one.
fifth season.
Yes, like
Wait,
last
what?
year
I
they
did not know
announced
that because
it.
again, I only was to watch that up to like season two. Um, but yeah, wait, how did they get like a second season and like other shows didn't even get like a fifth season that were like so much better? So
I don't know. I really don't know, and I'm honestly salty about it. I think I did a whole podcast like bonus episode about it last year when they first announced it, and it was just me ranting about how they didn't deserve it.
that's really funny. I mean, and all the good characters like literally left the show, so I don't
Yeah,
know
I
how
don't
they were
know.
able to survive. That's really funny.
I don't understand the appeal, but I guess we won't rant about it too much because I
I
don't
know
want to
I
get
don't
like
want to. I don't want to. I always get on like these random tangents that have nothing to do with it,
it's
and then
okay.
it's so
Me
bad.
too. Me too. Okay, so Demi Lovato, her character Mitchie in this movie is like kind of slightly irritating in like a
Yeah,
way. I don't know if it was just me because
I agree. I agree.
she did so. I guess you kind of have to spoil the movie anyways, but if you haven't seen the movie by now, please just go watch it before I spoil it for you. But she kind of decides that they need to beat Camp Star in this competition, which I don't know what they call it, Final Jam maybe. Camp Wars, I think that's what it's called. And so she kind of takes control, and she's kind of like slightly a control freak.
Yep, that's like why she and this is getting ahead, but she and Shane fight about that.
I know. I don't know. She just slightly, in the slightest way, irritated me. And like, I hate saying that because whenever I say anything slightly negative about like a popular character, I get all these hate DMs.
Yeah,
But
sidetrack. I didn't know that the other characters, I didn't know Nick Jonas's characters was named Nate and Kevin Jonas's character was named Jason. I just always thought they were Nick and Kevin.
I honestly, I think until I watched it last night, I didn't know that.
Yeah, yeah, but I always knew Shane, but I didn't really know the other two.
Yeah, because they kind of got left in the dust, but we can talk about that in just a little
Yeah.
bit. But yeah, Mitchie, slightly annoying. I just think when she became a counselor, I think it got to her head a little bit. And like, she was like, I need to be the best, I need
Mm.
to be in control. Got slightly irritating. I can just picture this one scene when she like starts hanging up posters, like telling the campers like they need to go to practice for this big event and like that they have to win, and it was just like really weird. I was just okay. I was like,
I agree.
calm down. But I don't
I
know. Maybe
agree.
that was just me. What did you think of Mitchie?
You see, I understand like her point that she wants to save the camp and all that, but I do agree that she's being a control freak. And I forget exactly what happened. Like there was this whole scene where she and Shane got into like a fight about it, and like I was thinking I was on Shane's side for that whole thing, even though to be fair, it
Me
led to a
too.
really great song, so that's good, I guess. But
Oh, I agree. I feel like any slightly irritating plot in any Disney Channel movie just leads to a song.
and sometimes the song can be good, so I guess
I guess it's a
that's good.
plus. It's a
Yeah.
plus for me. So overall, Mitchie slightly irritating, but I can tolerate her. Up next, we have Joe Jonas's character, who is Shane Gray, and he is the lead singer of the band Connect Three. Which Connect Three also never made any sense to me because I isn't like their game called Connect Four.
Yeah.
So like they should have. I know that they have another brother, Frankie Jonas, who is like
Yeah.
TikTok famous, I think, right now.
Yeah, now he is.
And so they should have just brought him in and called it Connect Four.
Or they could have just like how in real life their band was called the Jonas Brothers. They could have just called them the Gray Brothers or
Yeah,
something.
that would make sense. Actually, my sister went to go see them in concert one time.
Oh, really? Yeah, they came to where I live too, but I'm pretty sure they came like the week before quarantine happened, and I don't think
Oh,
it got canceled, but like everyone was so scared at that time, so I don't think like it was very popular.
yeah, that kind of
I
sucks
didn't
because
want to go, but my parents were like, you're gonna get COVID, so
yeah, I think my sister went just a couple weeks like before like the big shutdown, whatever you want to call
yeah.
it.
So,
But that's super cool though. So Shane Gray is slightly not as annoying as Mitchie. I prefer him in some parts of the movie, like when they had that little argument thing, like you said. I kind of had to take his side because he
mhm.
kind of wanted to he had more of a chill approach, which is just fine with me. And the one thing I didn't like about him is the way I don't wait, no, it's not him. I think it's one of his other brothers. They talk just really weird. And
Mm,
like it doesn't look like their like lips match what they're saying, and it's so weird. I am so
yeah,
picky. I can't even believe I'm saying that.
I know what you mean. I agree.
And so yeah, Shane Gray, not too bad. I really just think the thing about him is that
Yeah.
all they ever focused about was Mitchie and him, and like he didn't really like have any independence in this movie. And
Yeah,
I don't know. I feel like I'm just being really picky. And then
I
he,
understand. He's sort of Mitchie sort of forces him to like take her side, so it's just kind of awkward.
yeah, kind of like a slightly toxic relationship would be a good word. But
Yeah.
yeah, what did you think of Shane and his character?
I mean, overall, I liked, his character, and I did like, ship them, but
Me too.
um, I I think that like there were some points where he should have like understood where Michi was coming from because, she wants to save the camp that they all went to and where they all met, but at the same time, I feel like he was right and like she was being a control freak about it.
Yeah, yeah, she is a control freak, but like I can't complain because I'm a control freak.
Yeah.
So like I can't blame him. However, just they were just slightly annoying in like the like not that bad way. So
Like,
up
sorry, one second.
oh,
So I have something else about Shane.
oh yeah, say
Like,
it. Go
isn't there
ahead.
like a whole like scene where he like tries to like uplift like their spirits by like I forgot what exactly he planned. Like I believe it was like a water balloon fight or something like that.
Yeah.
And like Mitchie got so mad at him. It's like, bro, you're just trying to be nice, and like like he's just trying to be nice, and you're gonna get mad at him for being nice, and like even if it's like taking off your focus from the competition. So
Yeah, I think the biggest thing was, I guess a good way to think about it was that Demi's character Mitchie was kind of like the bad cop, and then you had the good cop, which was Shane, because he's like, "Oh, let the kids have fun. Like this is their summer. This is they need to have the time of their lives." And then Mitchie's like, "No, we just have to win, 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 go, go, go."
yeah.
And so I definitely have to take his side because I like to sing and dance. However, I don't think I'd want to like be hardcore about it, especially if I'm going off to a summer camp. Like I think I'd like to have a little bit of fun with my summer,
I
but
mean,
maybe
at the
that's
same
just me.
time, after they get into the fight, then he like makes sure, I think, the next morning to like make sure everyone is staying like is like rehearsing, and so he does try to like sort of win her back in that way and try to like understand like her priorities. So I feel like he was sort of like the good guy in that scenario.
Yeah, and so I think I have to give him a lot of credit for that, and I think he might be one of my favorite characters.
Mhm.
But he's also like the only character they ever him and Mitchie are the only character that they ever gave any spotlight to in any ways.
Yeah, I
So
feel like if they gave, I mean, they did give a little bit more spotlight to Nick Jonas's character in this movie with the whole, with his whole like plot line going on with
yeah,
Dana.
I was
'Cause-
actually just gonna go to him right now.
oh,
So this is a perfect segue. Let's get into it. So Nick Jonas's character Nate Gray, who's also a member of Connect Three because they're brothers,
mm,
and he had a little bit of a plot going on. So he what had a slight fling, I guess you could say, with Dana from Camp Star.
yeah, who's Chloe Bridges, I think. Who,
Yeah,
yeah,
I
and
think
I
oh,
think
yeah,
she's,
Chloe Bridges.
yeah.
What is she from? She looks so
I
familiar. I need to figure it out.
I'm gonna look it up. I know she's dating. What's his name? I forgot his name, but I can picture his face. But
Yeah, I
um,
feel like I know who you're talking about, and I need to figure it out. What was
Oh,
she?
Adam Devine, and they're engaged.
Oh, yes, yes. Oh, she was in the Carrie Diaries. I might have seen her. Oh, she was also in Pretty Little Liars. What was she in Pretty Little Liars? And Insatiable. Oh my gosh, she was in a lot of things, guys. I need to like
Yeah.
catch back up with all
New
these
Girl.
people. New Girl, all of these. No wonder, like when I was watching it last night, I was like, what was she in? Like I know that she was in this. Like
Mhm.
where now it makes so much sense. And she was also in a show that I watched called Schooled on ABC. Oh my gosh. So now it's all coming back, guys. So glad I finally figured out where I knew her from. So yeah, this podcast is a mess. I don't even I'm just all over the place.
No,
Okay,
you're fine.
back to Nate. So Nate has this little thing going on with Dana, who is a girl that goes to the other camp, and that's practically his only like thing that goes on in this movie. He's also one of the counselors that steps up. He like kind of helps save the future, but then he has growing feelings, and this girl's like kind of using him, kind of like not using him.
Yeah, I agree.
It was just like really weird. It kind of like got me irritated because he like seemed nice in this movie, but like she was just like abusing his niceness.
Yeah, I agree. Like I liked her character, but I do agree that she was trying to use him in ways that wasn't good.
Yeah, we don't stand. Definitely no standing going on here. But yeah, I don't know. And I don't know. I just kind of feel like they just slightly like screwed him over. Like no, they definitely I'm not even going to say slightly. They screwed him over completely. Because he had so much potential. Like this is Nick Jonas and like they gave him nothing. I don't know if you feel
Yeah.
that way.
Yeah, I understand what you mean. I mean, to be fair, this is like probably before he was as famous as he is now.
Yeah,
It's,
this
it's
was like
almost kind of
right.
funny how like Joe Jonas is like the lead brother in this, whereas like I feel like I knew about Nick Jonas first before the other brothers.
Yeah, like I think I'm pretty sure I knew Nick and like was aware of Nick before the other Jonas brothers.
Yeah, me too.
So why did they screw him over so much? I don't know. That's definitely going to
Maybe,
be a big question for me.
yeah. Maybe weren't like Joe Jonas and Demi Lovato also dating in real life at the time?
Yes, at the time I think they were, and I feel like one of them might have a kid now. I don't
Yeah, Joe Jonas has a kid with Sophie Turner.
Oh, wow. I did not. I knew that one of them had a kid, so I don't know which one it
Yeah.
was. I'm not very. For anyone who doesn't, I'm like not very super into like pop culture that much. So like
Yeah.
whenever I have a guest who can kind of like guide me in that pop culture route, I very much appreciate it.
Yeah,
Okay,
I enjoy reading those kind of things sometimes.
I
I
honestly
mean
me
at the same
too.
time it can get like a lot. It can get like it can get to be a lot. So I feel like just like
Hmm.
know the facts and then keep your distance.
Yeah, exactly. I love that. That's actually a really good way to go about it. Okay, who's next? Which Gray oh, there's only one left. Kevin Jonas, who is
Yeah.
Jason Gray, who is also a member of Connect 3. In this movie, Jason kind of, I don't know. He didn't really get much to go off of in like any way.
Not really.
I think though he in general he's the forgotten Jonas brother. I think there's no other way of saying it. Well, I mean, unless you count Frankie
Frankie.
Jonas, but
But to be fair, Frankie's now and
yeah,
now he's popular.
he
Uh,
deserves the fame. He deserves
Yeah,
the
I
fame.
think Kevin also was like focusing a lot on his family and stuff like that, and
Hmm.
maybe because he wasn't like the lead singer and stuff in his compared to his brothers, who are I think the lead singers of their band. Maybe that's why he's not as well known. I don't know.
Yeah, because I know that I have not seen all of their show because they have a show called Jonas that was on Disney Channel around this
Oh yeah,
time. I know that Frankie was in a couple episodes, but like I just think like you said, he was just the forgotten like
yeah. I
character.
like when I found out that they had another brother, I was shocked. I did not know that at all, and I was very like confused. I was like, wait, is this guy just impersonating to be his brother or something? Like it was just really funny.
Yeah, because he's also quite young compared to them. He's
Yeah,
only 20 years old, and I think that the other brothers are
30. I don't know.
30 something. Kevin is 33. I just looked it up.
Wow. I'm Googling Nick Jonas's age. I want to say he's like 28.
Joe Jonas. Oh my gosh, the sun is very bright. The sun just like decided to come out. Joe Jonas is
28.
31. Wow, these people are kind of old.
Oh.
I don't know why I'm like shocked about that. Wow, it kind of makes me feel old. Also, wow, the sun just really came out, but that's okay. So yeah, so the only thing that really happens is that he is in charge of these kids and they start pranking him and like doing these ridiculous pranks on him and like he gets angry and yeah, that's like it. And I'm like slightly embarrassed for him, but like not in the same way.
Yeah, and I mean, yeah, that's kind of crazy. Like, just like their difference in age, but I'm just looking at it now.
Yeah, there
Also,
is such a difference. Like wow, I didn't know that. But like I'm not shocked either for some reason. I don't know why because I feel like you can tell in this movie like the age difference.
yeah, I know, and I feel like it's kind of funny how like Kevin is the oldest of them, and he's like the one who's like the immature one almost.
Yeah, I don't know. The whole writing point of this movie to me is kind of confusing. Like
Yeah,
how they decided who was going to get what. But yeah, Jason's character, there's nothing really going on with him. He does like he does get a birdhouse in the end, and like they like I don't know. It's really weird, and honestly, I'm just sorry that he had to endure like living in the fame of his other brothers.
yeah.
So I don't know. What else did you think? Do you have anything else you want to add? I guess I should say.
About what's the name, Jason?
Jason, yes.
Not really.
There's nothing to like
Yeah,
say.
it's kind of sad, but I mean, I guess it's true.
Yeah, I guess we have to move on to the next person who I actually really liked, who is Caitlin Geller, who's played by Allison Stoner. Allison Stoner, I love her. She was in Cheaper by the Dozen, Sweet Life of Zach and Cody. She was in Phineas and Ferb, I believe. She voices Isabella, who is Phineas's like love interest, I guess you could say, who's always like,
Wait,
"What you
really?
doing?" Yeah.
I did not know that. Have you covered Phineas and Ferb?
I have not.
Well, I guess that's not really Disney Channel, but
Yeah, it is.
it
I mean,
is.
it's like Disney XD. I count it.
Yeah,
I count
yeah.
it.
I yeah, that show is really good. It's really sad how even to this day I still watch it once in a while for fun.
No,
Like, you know, I used to watch it like so much when I was little.
no, don't be ashamed. I watch it. However, I did cover like the Disney Channel original movie of Phineas and
Yeah.
Ferb, Across the Second Dimension. I think that's what it's called.
Oh yeah. There was one episode of Phineas and sorry, okay, I'll try not to get on tangent. So there was one episode where they like went to boarding school, and that episode scared me so much when I was little.
I remember that one. Oh my gosh. Wow.
I think like Candace finally busted them or something.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Now it's like all coming back to me. But yes, Allison Stoner, I love her so much. Her character
Yeah.
in this movie is like kind of like the sidekick best friend, but like she kind of actually gets a little bit more than like
Yeah, and like how it normally is, where they just like agree with the main character and that's it.
And so she is very good friends with Mitchie. And so Caitlin, I can't explain why I like her character. I just think she
I
always had like such a positive like influence, I guess. Like she was always looking so positive. Her hair like looked really cool the whole time, which is like stupid because I feel like that's not a sufficient reason to like her character. However, she is just really she stands up for what she believes in, like, you know, for her friends, her family.
yeah.
She's nice to like everyone. I don't think I can think of 1 minute when she doesn't like be nice to someone. She's nice.
Yeah.
She's so happy to see Mitchie again and she becomes a counselor. And I don't know, I just thought I really liked her character, like her leadership and like how nice she was, because I feel like it's kind of a reflection of how I live my life in a way.
I agree, yeah.
So yeah, I guess
I
that's my
agree with that.
Caitlin opinion. If you want to add anything.
Yeah, I mean her she's definitely like very positive, and she definitely sticks up for Mitchie. Like like I don't really know how much she sticks up for her in this movie, but definitely in the first movie she sticks up for her a lot. And I definitely really liked her, especially like what scene is that? Oh, never mind. That's in the first movie. Never mind. So I won't talk about it. It's so hard to like distinguish the
Oh
first
yeah,
from the
I
second
agree.
one sometimes.
It's really
But
confusing to like distinguish because I actually covered the first movie like a long time ago, like one of the first episodes of the podcast. Like,
yeah,
and so when I rewatch, I haven't rewatched it, I don't think since, but I love the movie, and it was just, it's like when I was watching it, I was like, oh wait, I thought this was in the first movie, but
yeah.
no.
Wait, remind me. Does she leave for Camp Star also?
No, I don't think she does
No.
because she
Okay.
becomes one of the counselors.
Yeah. Okay. She's one of those like she's one of those like
She
those CIT
sticks
type
up.
counselors.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
sticks up for what she believes in, and I love it.
Yeah.
And so if you don't have anything else to add, we can move on to our next character, who I also really like,
Okay.
which is Ella Pador, who is played by Anna Maria Perez. And she also, I believe, has gained a TikTok following in the past couple months, I guess you could say. I know that she was really active like during the
Looking
summer.
her up quickly. So I forgot how she looks. One second. Let me just see.
That's okay. I'll just keep talking about
Yes,
her,
that's fine.
I guess. And so Ella in this
Oh
movie
yes, I see this
is not very intelligent in a nice way.
one.
She
Yeah, I
doesn't
can know what you mean.
apply herself, I guess, and she focuses a lot on like fashion, which is good. She like designs all the clothes, and yeah, she just is, I don't know, she's always amazing, and she, like, I don't know, I just love her so much, and she kind of like lives in her own world and doesn't let other people like affect her, which I admire so much. Like anytime
Yeah, I agree.
she like stands up for what she
Definitely.
believes in, and
She
I
also
don't
she
know.
also sticks up for Mitchie, I think. So
Yeah, so
so
I
yeah,
really like her. If you want to add anything.
yeah. I mean, I completely agree with you on that.
Yeah, I love her so much. Up next we have Peggy, and Peggy is
Oh,
also a really cool character. Kind of one of the ones who gets forgotten about, and I don't know why I like her. I just think she just has such a style. Like her outfits are always like on fleek to me. So Peggy's character,
oh wait, wasn't Ellie on like? I mean, not Ellie. Why did I say Ellie? Ella on Tess's team in the first movie.
yes, I think she
Okay,
was.
so just because I was kind of
I
confused.
think she was a little mean in that first one. And I think that her actress also was on Hannah Montana.
Oh yes.
Love Hannah Montana.
I'm sorry, I'm looking at Peggy again just because sometimes they're okay. Now I know who you're talking about. Okay, yeah. So wasn't her name like Margaret Dupre or some? No, no,
I
no. Oh yeah, she is. That's her. That is her name. Okay,
Yeah,
never
and
mind.
like they nickname her Peggy. I don't remember like from the first movie like how that nickname comes about, but I just know that they call her Peggy.
Yeah,
But I love her style. She kind of reminds me a lot of Raven Simone, who I love like her style.
yeah,
And I don't know, I just feel like in this movie, another character who is really overlooked. She also in this movie has a little bit of a different like, how do I say this? Um personality than the first one. She's a lot more
yeah,
like independent in this movie. And she
definitely.
also becomes a counselor to save it from Camp Star.
Yes. Yeah, I agree with that. I definitely liked her personality, and um and sorry, I know this is going back to this first movie a little bit. I feel like I feel like they're so similar, but I
Yeah.
feel like she just in general like sort of found her like shell to come out of, like she sort of came out of her shell at the end of the first movie, and then in the second movie she like sort of runs with that theme where she like is trying to be independent and trying to like stick up for herself more.
Yeah, I feel like it's just so important to like see like specifically in like TV and television. Wait, that's the same thing, TV and television. But like to see someone who like stands up for what they believe in, because I feel like it's a
Yeah,
super good role model for like the kids watching, like 5-year-old Matthew that was watching this.
yeah,
And so I just feel like that is like so
I agree.
important.
Yes, I agree.
Uh,
And I feel like in general, this movie is really well, okay. I was gonna say it has a really positive theme, but of course, there's like that whole stress that's in the middle. Like, I don't. Well, but I feel like any movie that sort of has that positive outcome, where like any sort of trouble you're gonna get into, everything will be okay, sort of vibe.
Yeah, I feel really like that this movie teaches really positive like energy for the most part. I mean, there are
Yeah,
a couple things, however, I just feel like they are it's just a super good message to have, like especially for the younger kids. And like the songs are great, so that just like is an
I
added
agree.
plus.
Yeah, it does help.
So our next character is Tess. And
She also has a haircut, right?
yeah.
She
I
also got
love
bangs.
her. I love her. Yes. Tess, okay, how do I say this? Tess is just like I know she's the mean girl. I know we're not supposed to like her. Like I know like the villains. Oh my gosh, the sun is very bright. I like the villains and stuff. Like I know we're not supposed to like them. However, for some reason, I just like her character.
Yeah, I agree. I do know like what you mean. I mean, of course, I think everyone is sort of like not everyone, but I mean, I found it sort of like I was gonna say a word, but that's kind of a swear word, so let's not say it. But kind of found it irritating of her to go to the other camp.
Yeah, yeah,
Like I
no.
thought that was kind of like mean of her, and she shouldn't have done that. And like it was kind of annoying how she literally just went there, probably just because they were like more well known, not really like whereas the other characters are like, let's save Camp Rock since that's where our roots are.
Yeah, she in both movies is like the annoying person that is the
Yeah,
villain. I wouldn't, she's just the antagonist. She just is, I guess you could say she is slightly irritating. However, I just for some reason like her. Her actress, Megan Martin, I really like her. She
yeah,
was
she's a good
in
actress.
she was in so many things, and I just watched a movie with her. What was it? It was really bad. Mean Girls 2. She was in Mean Girls 2. It's a horrible movie. Don't watch it.
Oh yeah,
It's on
I
Netflix.
my mom wanted to watch that the other day, and I was like, I've heard it's so bad. Would you wanna watch
Yeah,
that?
it's okay. Slight off topic, but it's basically like a Disney Channel
Yeah.
reunion because it has like Harper from Wizards of Waverly Place. It has
Um.
Nicole Anderson from Jonas and
Oh, okay. I don't know.
Megan Martin, and then a
Hmm.
girl that was in Corey in the House, which is the
Okay.
Raven's Home spinoff. A lot of Disney Channel stars, and
Yeah.
it just wasn't very good.
Was it are those technically considered Disney Channel or no? I thought those were just Disney.
Some of them are considered Disney, some of them are considered Disney Channel, I guess.
So do
But
you just focus on Disney Channel movies?
yes, for the most part, usually.
Yeah.
Sometimes shows. I do shows every once in a while. There's just not as many, so like I can't do them as frequently.
Yeah.
And eventually, like I was like, what happens when I run out of stuff to talk about?
I was gonna say, how many of the like hundred and something decoms have you done?
I
Well, I
think.
guess you only have 65 or no. Sorry, I was listening to your 65th episode, which is why I said
Oh
65.
my gosh.
You only have like 70 something or 80 something
This is
episodes.
episode 76, I think. So quite a few.
Wow.
I think I've talked about like 40 of them, maybe. So we
Wow,
still got a
yeah.
long time to go yet, guys. Don't worry. I'm not going anywhere anytime soon.
Sorry, no, I was listening to your 34th episode, which is the Girl Meets World one.
Yeah, that's like a throwback,
Yeah,
guys. Oh
it's
my
funny.
god.
Sorry, again, I'm sorry, so sorry for going on all these random tangents, but like you're talking about like how's the beginning of quarantine and how we have to all stay at home, guys, and we're gonna do some puzzles and yoga, and I was just like, oh my god.
Yeah, that was like filmed in like April or something like or
Yeah.
recorded, I guess. So it's like a full circle.
I
But
know it's so weird. I missed that time, honestly.
yeah, I
It's
know. Okay, I'm
but
so glad finally someone said that because I see it all over TikTok. They're like, I would not want to go back to quarantine. And like me personally, I thought that was like a fun time for me.
like
I mean,
literally all of our schoolwork was not graded. We literally had pass or fail grading system. So it's literally if you did the assignment, you'd pass it, and if you didn't do it, you'd like fail
I
it. But like
know.
it versus like getting an actual grade, it was.
And it just felt like such a more like a better time, I guess. I
I
don't know why. It
know.
just felt
I
like, oh my
agree.
gosh, I get to be home all day. Like this is fun.
Yeah, I
It's not
agree.
fun like the people dying part, but
No, no, no. But I agree with like the other part. Like I think that I sort of took that time for granted.
Yeah, me too. I definitely agree. But I really grew the podcast, so that's exciting.
That's true.
So I guess actually we really only have one more character that I feel like is worthy of talking about, which is Rashawn Fagan's character, who you might know from Shake It Up. And he was on Dancing with the Stars, who is Sander Lawyer, and he attends Camp Rock, who also steps up to be a counselor. And he in this movie is like kind of like that immature guy in a way. You know, like they always have like that one immature boy kind of character.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what I felt like. I didn't think he was like super like stand out guy. He does dance really good though, so I have to give him a lot of credit. I always
I
loved his
agree.
character on Shake It Up, but he just basically assists in the not closure of Camp Rock.
Yeah. It was kind of like funny the whole setup because I feel like if someone was starting a music camp, why would they start it on the same lake as the other music camp?
Yeah, it was really weird. Like I don't think in real life that would happen
Yeah.
because I mean it's a
Movie.
lake, but it's a
Mm,
movie and it's Disney Channel, so I guess
yeah.
we can't expect too much.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Something that I also found interesting was both the camp directors, like Brown and Axel. They're both named Daniel in real life.
I did notice that. That is actually really funny because I think they also like knew each other. Like they
Oh,
what how did they know each other? I think they were like bandmates or something. Like they used to be
oh,
in a band together.
that's really funny.
But I thought it was like a super cool like aspect for me. I don't know. From I guess let's just start from the very beginning. So Camp Rock 2, Mitchie, who is played by Demi Lovato, as we established, comes back to Camp Rock for another year, where she will see her friends Shane, Nate, Jason, Tess, Peggy, so many of them.
Ella.
Ella, all of them. They're
Yes,
all going to be back. They're all excited, like, beginning of summer vibes. And they are very excited to see her. And so they, like, along the way, they get this really weird shot of something that says Camp Star. And they're like, the mom's like, oh my gosh, is that a new camp? It was like really bad acting in this first scene. I don't know if it
yeah,
was just me.
yeah. It was.
And
I agree. I mean, to be fair, I do stand the mom character.
oh,
Like,
me
she's
too.
also
I
in
love
Wizards
her.
of Waverly Place. I loved that show. I mean, I didn't finish watching that show ever, but I think I watched the first two seasons. It was really good.
Yeah, really good
Um,
show.
yeah, and so I stand her, but like her, yeah, I agree that her acting wasn't the best.
I don't know. Just maybe this. I think it got better along the way, but this first scene was like really
Yeah,
weird. And so they're like, they kind of notice off the bat that there's not as many campers as there was last year, which is
yeah.
kind of a problem because how are they supposed to make money? Because, this
Hmm.
is a camp. And so then what happens is from there, they like start giving like a bunch of things like together. Like what did they get? They got like s'mores. They got like s'mores
Oh
camp.
yeah, the chocolates and the graham crackers and the marshmallows. So basically, yeah,
Yeah, so they
and
were making s'mores. Like they like had little parachutes come back from Camp Star who was like trying to intimidate them,
isn't that
which
kind yeah, I just thought the whole thing was definitely very Disney Channel, like, not gonna happen in real life. Like even if someone did have the audacity to open up a music camp right across from another music camp, they wouldn't try to like just suddenly like lure
yeah, that's the word.
sorry, all their campers over with s'mores kits. Like that's just it was just strange. Like I feel like they might like put up a big ad, but you wouldn't just do that. That's kind of
No, it was really
interesting.
weird. It was so Disney Channel.
Yeah.
That's all I have to say about that. And so
Yeah.
then we kind of get a little bit of a scene with the Jonas Brothers, aka the Gray Brothers,
Hmm.
and their little truck has broken down. How are they supposed to get to camp? How are they going to
Yeah.
make it to see Mitchie? How are they going to reunite and have that huge like run up to each other and hug? Lots of uncertainty in this first couple minutes because we got the new camp, we got the weird parachute things with s'mores, and then we got their car breaking down.
Yeah. It doesn't like isn't it like their tour bus?
Yeah, I should say their
Yeah.
tour
I mean,
bus.
no, not that you were wrong. I was just trying to remember if that was what it
Yeah.
was.
Yeah, I guess I
Yeah.
just should use proper terminology because otherwise I'm going to get more hate DMs. But
Oh my gosh, I can't believe you get actually get hate DMs based on like your own
yep,
opinions.
we have definitely gotten a
Like if
couple.
someone just like wanted to make polite discourse with you on,
Yeah.
the topic, I feel like you wouldn't mind as much. But if you're like, hey, I don't like how you said this about this character, that's kind of
Yeah, like I think even in my show notes I was like my opinions are my own. You do not have to share my
I saw
opinions.
that in the in like the description box
Yeah,
thingy of
because
your
I had to put that in because I had some little hate DMs, some experiences. They're no longer like following me and have received a block because I mean, hate, why would you hate? Don't do it, guys. We know
yeah,
better now.
yeah.
And so from there, Mitchie's like, I have this song I'm working on. She just like has this little thing, like a couple little words written down, and then all of a sudden, 2 seconds later, they break out into song.
Yes. Yeah.
Brand New Day.
Oh yeah.
One of my favorite songs from this
Yeah, that
movie.
song was pretty good.
And so all of a sudden, she took this like tiny little song, and now they're all singing and dancing, and oh my gosh, there's so much going on. It was like also the choreography in this movie was like energetic, but super childish.
I understand what you mean. Yeah, it wasn't like necessarily sophisticated by any
No,
means.
definitely not Kenny Ortega, who directed High School Musical choreography in any way. It was just
Yeah.
very, it was okay. I think it was just like fun, upbeat dancing, but I just wasn't a huge fan of that. And so they did that whole song. The Gray Brothers come, they're reunited, camp rock, yeah.
Yep.
But I guess you could now say Camp Star, yeah, because they start having some problems. They start clashing with each other. They're invited to this campfire thing,
Yeah.
which isn't a campfire. It's basically a giant performance to show off because
Yep.
why not?
It was really. I mean, if this was not Disney Channel, there would definitely been a lot more fist fights in this.
Oh yes, I feel like every single character in this movie would have gotten in a fist fight at least 8 times because like
Yeah.
they clashed with the other camps so much. Like I
Yeah.
was really like kind of like confused, but I'll let it slide. And so they go there. They have a huge performance. They meet Dana. They meet the founder Axel, and oh, there's so much stuff going on. And so a couple campers switch over, including our villain Tess, who I personally like love, even though she like betrayed Camp Rock.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I guess you can't really blame her because if the other place is offering like double your salary and more and it's like seems so much cooler, then why wouldn't you go?
I personally, that controversial opinion, would go to Camp Star.
Yeah.
I would make the switch.
Just because, if something's better, why not go for it? I mean, I know we're supposed to stan Mitchie and stan our Camp Rock friends, but
But
I mean, I think Tess was being, fiscally smart there.
yeah, I like her. I don't know why she gets all this hate.
I
And
mean, I do think she should get hate in the first movie
in
though.
the first movie though, but not the
Yeah.
second movie.
Yeah, the
Second movie,
second
I
movie
like
she's
Tess better.
better. I agree.
And so, we kind of see this little thing with Nate and Dana going on. They bond together. Also, I don't know if we mentioned this, but Dana is Axel's daughter, which is
Oh
kind of like a
yeah, yeah,
huge
yeah.
plot point.
Yeah, I know. Um, she when does she reveal it? She reveals it like after the bonfire, right?
Yeah, I think it's like right away, but like
Like
he
yeah.
doesn't like care. Like it's really confusing. Like these people like seem to care but don't care at the same time.
Yeah, because and then so Nate gets hit with her bracelet.
Mm-hmm.
He returns the bracelet, and I think that's when she reveals.
Yeah. Okay. Now this is when things get real because they're like, or I should say, Brown, the leader of Camp Rock, is like, we have to shut down. We can't
Oh,
continue.
so
Sad
bad.
face. And
Oh
then
my gosh.
all of a sudden, Mitchie takes control and like becomes this control freak. And it's like, no, we will not let this happen. And from there, she and gets a couple people to step up and be counselors because most of their counselors switched over to Camp
Yeah.
Star.
And again, I don't think you can blame them.
I
And
don't blame them. I would go to Camp Star. I mean, it just was so much better, like the performance quality, and like apparently the cabins had air conditioning, but the ones at Camp Rock didn't. So who wouldn't
like,
go to Camp
yeah,
Star?
exactly. Like I agree that if it's the better one, then why not go?
Yeah, it might be a little bit more expensive, but I guess you might get a better
I
experience.
mean, I guess at the same time, like which one has the real people? Like, the people who like actually care about you. You guess like, you'd have to think about all of that.
Mm-hmm. Lots to think about. Lots to think about. But like I said, I'd probably go to Camp Star.
Hmm.
Incoming hate DMs. I can just feel it now. But so it's very tough for them. Like it's really it's tough. Like they are like teenagers who were campers, now they're counselors,
Hmm.
and they have a lot of different tasks and stuff. And like in one scene they like didn't order enough hamburger meat for the mom or whatever. And then they're just like having a lot of problems because they didn't think this through completely. I mean, they didn't think it through at all. But
Yeah.
they just were like, we need to save it. And so they're having a really hard time. And so they go back to Camp Star. And I'm pretty sure that this is when they go like marching. Do you know what I mean? Where they like Camp Rock and they like do the little
Yeah.
thing and like they like I don't know. It's
And they do their like camp face off.
yeah, and they come together and then they like declare the war.
Camp wars, yeah.
And I don't know, the Camp Rock cheer is so ironically funny because I'm pretty sure it's also trending on TikTok or was trending on TikTok a little bit ago. Like the dance thing, which I can't personally
Oh,
do.
I think I know what you mean, but I can't do that either.
I'm not that coordinated. However, they
Same.
start this new war. They're going to have a public television broadcast, and the public will decide who is best.
See, that's like a 2010s reference, a public television broadcast, not just let's put it on, TikTok and see which one gets more likes or something.
Yeah, that's what I do. Like, or you could just do an Instagram poll. Like, I do
Yeah,
polls all the
exactly.
time.
Why
I love
not?
polls.
That's just so much easier than just having to get like someone to cover it on the news. Like, who watches the news anymore?
Yeah, I don't watch the news. And so then Mitchie, like we said, kind of takes over like boss lady role and
Yeah.
is only focused on winning the competition. She starts frustrating Shane, and oh my gosh,
Yeah.
there's so much stuff going on. Now they want to start a water balloon fight, even though they don't want to, but then they have a fight, and then there's music, and
Oh my God, that song is my favorite though. Like the song between Mitchie and that what that's where it is, right?
yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
Yes.
Mitchie. What's it called? Oh my God, I can. You're my. What's the name of the song?
Uh,
Wouldn't change a thing. Wouldn't change a thing.
yes,
Okay, found
and
it. Sorry.
it's like you, me, we're face to face, but we don't see eye to eye.
Fire and rain. Oh my
Yeah, it was.
God,
I
I
think
love that.
it was on TikTok a little
Yeah,
bit
I know. I
ago.
saw that. I saw those TikToks. I feel like every sort of like Disney Channel moment can have a TikTok about it. The one where like it's from the first movie, I think, where they say like she's really good. With the keyboard sound. Like, I
Yes.
did not even realize that was from Camp Rock until I rewatched it. I think last summer.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. There's so many. I feel like
Yeah.
everything's going viral on TikTok. Like
Yeah.
anything. Everything is going viral on TikTok except for me. I'm not going viral on TikTok.
Literally, I know. I actually stopped my TikTok for a while, but I know I was trying to make one today, and it's just there's so much work, and
I know.
if you
I'm
don't
trying to
get
like
views, it's so annoying.
post like a
I
couple
noticed
days a week.
the ones where I like put pictures of myself when I'm younger and look terrible do better, which is so sad.
I know. I think actually one of your personal TikToks was on my For You page the other day.
Oh my God. Literally, I put a I put one of it was like the one where you're supposed to have like a glow up. So it's like
Mm-hmm.
a picture of me like with my sixth grade haircut where my hair is like literally to my ears and like so frizzy. It's like 5 inches out and where I like, have my little mermaid and my mermaid lunchbox. And I was super embarrassed because my dad made me like take a picture outside the middle school when like everyone else is so cool and walking in. And I was
Oh
just
my
taking a picture outside the
gosh.
middle school.
My mom did that last year when I started high school.
Oh
She made me
my
take pictures outside of the high school, and there
Like
were
it's so
people
awkward when
coming
everyone's
into
walking
school.
in. I know my dad wanted to do the same thing with high school. I'm like, nope, because there's a senior tailgate going on out here, and we don't want to do that.
Yeah, no, no,
Yeah,
no. Seniors are scary people. But I'm going to be a senior eventually, and I think you're a senior next year, right?
yeah, that's
So
scary.
you get to be the scary
Oh
senior.
gosh, yeah. Even though to be fair, scary senior probably won't have much of a senior year.
Hopefully, fingers crossed.
Um,
Positive thoughts,
yeah.
everyone.
Positive thoughts.
Okay, so now they are rehearsing for Camp Wars, because now they start doing it. Shane and the Gray brothers, finally start caring about Camp Wars. And now, like, Mitchie's like happy for once because I feel like she's never happy. But then Nate has some trouble with Dana because are they in love? Are they not in love?
Is that when he sings a song, or is it's after, right?
I
When he
think it's
sings the
after.
song?
That song
Yeah.
is really awkward. That song is
I
so
like
awkward.
the song though,
I
even though
like
it's,
the
it's
song, but
awkward. Yeah.
it's really
I
awkward
agree that
because
it's awkward. It's kind of scary how much he like says in that
yeah,
song.
because he's like, I'm trying to like one of the lines is like he's trying to grow a mustache or something like
Or
that.
like
I don't know.
I like cheese. I don't like cheese except for when it's like in quesadillas or something. And I'm like, she does not need to know that on the first before the first date.
I know it was really weird,
Or
and
like my moon shaped like a my toenail, or it's just
yeah, it's really really weird. Very very much oversharing.
I enjoy that song though. It's
I do like
catchy.
the song. It's very catchy. And so now Camp Wars is here. Camp Star performs, but he has been encouraging, or I should say, he, the leader of Camp Star, has been like like sent out like a public burst or something to like vote for Camp Star. I recall they were like,
Yeah. Like they said, like to text and tweet and stuff. And I
yeah,
mean,
tweeting back when it
to
was
be fair,
popular.
tweeting in like 2010 was probably not very much, but
Yeah, I mean, I have a Twitter for the podcast. I never use it.
oh, yeah. I've never had a Twitter, but I've like obviously seen them, and they're
Yeah.
interesting sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes there can be some very interesting stuff on there.
I know. I feel like the problem with that kind of thing is that it's literally like it's so easy to just put whatever you want out there, and like you just have, I don't know exactly how many characters you have anymore, but you can literally say whatever you want, just hit like send. Whereas like for example with Instagram, you have to like find a picture to put your like thingy with,
Mm-hmm.
or I
Yeah.
don't, and you can't really Snapchat your like followers or constituents or anything. So I think Twitter makes it very easy for people to just say whatever they want to say in
Yeah,
an
sometimes
instant.
not in the very good best
Oh,
way.
I know what you mean.
But now Camp Rock is basically in shambles. It'd be a miracle. They are in peril. They won't win. Basically,
Yeah.
like it's not going to happen. And then so they basically they perform, and now they have like a montage going. But then they gather for one more time because they have not. They lost. They lost in the end. Which I have a fan. I had some fans. I guess you could call, if you want to call my listeners fans. Send in some questions, so we have a couple
Okay.
questions to
Yes,
answer.
that's
And there, I know
great.
that there's one about them losing in the end. But in the end, they all gather one time before leaving, including people from Camp Star who come over, including Tess and Dana. They all join together, and now they are like, we are going to continue for another summer. And I'm pretty sure that Tess says that she will be coming back to Camp Rock for next summer.
Yeah.
So that is like the movie in a whirlwind. We went through a lot of content, but now I have some fan questions. I guess we can call my listeners fans. I guess they
I
could
know.
be
I
considered
did that
fans.
too yesterday when I was trying to bring in my fan questions. I was like, not sure if I should call them my followers questions or my fan question. I
I
think
usually
fan
say
questions is
listeners, but
center. Yeah. I feel
I
like
don't
fan
know.
is fine,
Fan is fine because,
Yeah.
it's fan behavior. So that's like my overgun. So
Yeah.
I have some fan questions from my fans. I guess you guys are going to be called my fans because why not? And so the first question is from some review dude who was in a couple episodes, Quince, and one of the other ones I can't think of. Even Stevens movie. Okay, guys. So do you guys like how Camp Rock didn't win in the end?
I feel like it was more realistic.
Yeah, I feel like it was
Like,
one of the only Disney movies that didn't have a happy ending.
yeah, and I mean at the same time they still like all like, agree to sort of at the end, and they all sort of like, even though it was devastating for them, they all sort of agreed, and they all sort of like, still came together, and Tess even came back. So that's what I'm saying, like it was sort of a good thing. And I agree that, it's not very common for Disney Channel to like not let the people, the like protagonists get their way in the end. So it was definitely surprising and I was shocked, but I do think it was more realistic because really how would have Camp Rock have won against that whole thing?
Yeah, I agree. I think it was super realistic, and I think that that's why I probably liked the ending a little bit more
Yeah.
than like usual.
Like
And
if they had won, it would have just been too predictable.
yeah, like I was really glad that they didn't. I guess I'll say it. I liked that they didn't win.
Uh-oh, hate DMs coming your
Hey
way.
DMs. But oh my gosh, sun needs to go away. I'm like recording right in front of my window because of the lighting.
I'm in the basement. There's no light down here.
But there is the lighting is just washing me out completely. But the next, I guess it's not a question. It's more of like a statement from Even the Little Things podcast.
Oh, I love
And
them.
they said, OMG, this movie is so ironically funny.
Yeah. I mean, I think that I think that the first movie was better, and at the same time, I was really surprised that there wasn't a third movie. But maybe it's a good thing that there wasn't a third movie because it probably would have gone very downhill from this movie itself.
Yeah, I mean, I probably would still watched it though.
Yeah, no, me too. But like how some movies, like the sequels, just keep getting worse and worse and worse.
Yeah, I agree.
Some movies. Like
So,
the High School Musical, like the second and third ones were good, but the first one just nothing will beat that.
uh-oh, I disagree with you.
You disagree? Oh my gosh.
I think the second one is the best one.
Uh, yeah, I mean, the
I
second
still
one
think the
is
first one is
really good.
iconic. I will
Yeah, that's what I
disagree.
mean.
It's
But you know what
iconic.
I mean? Like it's iconic and like nothing will ever sort of like I mean, even though the second movie was I do agree that it was really good in this. I love all the musical numbers.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta Go My Own Way is like my
So good.
my jam. Like I literally sang that as like a as a an audition for like this group in my school last year. And I'm pretty sure because it was like students who were like the ones who were accepting you into this group. I'm pretty sure they were like trying so hard not to laugh when I was singing "Gotta Get My Own Way" by Vanessa Hudgens. But I mean, they were really nice. Like, I knew all of them. That's the only reason why I did it. But like, I did not get accepted into that group.
Oh my gosh. I mean, if I was accepting people into the group and they sang High School Musical, it'd be an automatic in for me.
Automatic in.
Oh my gosh. So another thing from Even the Little Things podcast, I believe it goes on. It's a continuation that says the Camp Rock dance chant thing to Camp Star, please. I agree. It's really
Yeah.
unrealistic, and it's super funny because they're like all in motion. Camp Rock. It's just really funny.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
they go on for so long. I'm pretty sure they just keep chanting chant rock camp rock like so many times.
Like, how did they not all start just laughing? Like,
I would laugh.
rolling
It's
on the
so
floor.
funny.
They probably did it. Like, that probably was not their first take, or maybe it was their first take and then they started laughing. I don't know.
I don't know.
But
It's just really
I
funny,
don't
and
know
I
how
love
you would
that.
do that.
Surprisingly, the next question is also about the Camp Rock cheer from Tori of the Ready to Be Petty podcast, who was on episode 69 with me. Can you do the Camp Rock cheer? I cannot.
Yeah, I probably couldn't either.
I
But
mean, I think
yeah.
I know it's like below the knee, clap, and then like this, and then up, down, and then they just say Camp Rock. I don't
Oh
know.
my
It's
God.
really
Yeah,
weird.
if I watch that enough times, maybe I
Yeah,
could.
maybe if I watched
Like
it
if
enough.
I watch a TikTok enough times, then I can sort of get the dance, but it has to be like a lot of times in a row.
Yeah. And then, so the next one, or the last question is from Disney Channel Chat, who was in episode 54 with me,
Ooh,
not high school, Halloween Town 2,
ooh.
Calabar's Revenge. And they asked, what dance number is your favorite from this decom?
Hmm. Well, I feel like that my two favorite songs aren't really dance numbers. Introducing Me and Wouldn't Change a Thing. Um, and then like the other song I like, which I don't think is really a dance number either, is You're My Favorite Song.
Yeah.
But I just think that their beginning one, the Brand New Day
Brand
one's
New Day
really
is my
good.
favorite.
Yeah, that's a pretty good one for dance number.
Even though the dancing is like really weird, like it's not like appropriate
Yeah.
fitting, I think it's just super happy, joyous, and I love it.
And it's like the time in the movie where they're the most happy, basically, and then it
Yeah,
just goes
basically, because
downhill
it's
from
just
there.
downhill from there. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. So yeah, that was all the questions. Thank you to my lovely fans, if you will, for sending in those questions. I much appreciate it. Now comes the time when me and my guests have to rate this movie out of 10.
Mm.
So would you like me to go first?
Yes, you go first. I need to
Okay.
think about it.
So I think I'm going to give this movie a 6.5 out of 10.
Yeah.
And I'll explain before the hate DMs start rolling in. This movie it's good. It's good. It's got a solid plot. It's got solid song, solid dance. However, this movie is just it felt like really rushed. I don't know. And like a lot of the characters, like they established so many different characters, but like only two characters ever got like any major developments in this plot. And I just felt like everything just wasn't like explained enough, and I wasn't just a huge fan. And so for that, I have to take off a couple points. And also for the cheesy dancing and like the cheesy songs, the cheesy song
Yeah.
lyrics,
Cheesy
and I
song.
have to take off a couple points. So I'm going to give it a 6.5 out of 10.
Yeah. I'd probably say 7 out of 10. That's half a point more. Just because I mean I completely agree with what you mean, like all those parts. I mean, to be fair, it does star a bunch of, icons and
Yes,
a bunch
icons.
of icons, and probably for the time it was considered to be quality entertainment. um Again, like I know we're going to be rating it in today's time also, so I don't want to get too much into that. And I do love the songs. I don't know why I like Wouldn't Change a Thing, but it's like, considering how it's it's not definitely like the best song ever, but it is, I think it's really good. And so yeah, I think 7 out of 10 is a fair estimate. I mean, I agree with your 6.5 out of 10 also.
Yeah, I feel. Oh, I have to say my favorite songs. I didn't say that yet. Brand New Day is really good. I have to give
Mhm.
it a lot of credit. It's such a happy, feel good song. It's in one of my it's in one of my playlists, and I love when it comes on because it's just like a happy song. As well as, like you said, Wouldn't Change a Thing would have to be my
Yeah.
other favorite. Those two also um maybe Can't Back Down.
I think I also liked it because whenever I watched this, I was taking Latin. I mean, I still take Latin, but it's when I first started taking Latin. And Venus and Mars are the are like two Roman gods. Venus, goddess of love, and Mars, god of war. So I just thought, oh my god, they're talking about Latin. Like, this is so cool. Like, we have to stand by the song.
Yes, no, I think that they also, I really like the song Introducing Me, like you said.
Yeah, I mean, again, I know that the lyrics are cheesy, but I think it's very catchy.
Me too. I really agree with you. Like we've really kind of agreed on this whole thing. So
Yeah, except for
I'm
the High
glad.
School Musical
Except for the
comment.
High School Musical thing. So you can send me the hate DMs later. And so now my age-old question I ask on every single episode here on the podcast for the past 2 years this week that this episode comes out. If this movie came out on Disney Channel today, do we think it would do as well? I'll go
Well,
first.
okay,
Or unless you want to
sorry.
go first.
I had a question.
Okay.
If it came out today, would it still have the exact same actors at their ages and stuff?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay,
Um,
you go first.
I would say yes. I feel it feels very timeless. Like it doesn't feel like it was 11 years ago. Like it feels like it could have came out yesterday or like today and it would still be relevant. The songs are practically great. Like I don't think that they would change. Like it would pretty much be the same movie just in today. However, I just feel like some of the stuff, like I don't really think that many people go to summer camps like anymore. Like I don't know if it's
Oh,
just me.
I disagree with that. I mean, I went to a camp for like 6 years in a row.
Oh, I went to a summer
Yeah,
camp the other summer. I
the
mean,
sleepaway
similar to
camp,
Camp Rock.
but not like a whole summer thing, like only a week thing. But
Yeah, I did a week camp where I met this girl named Cece, and fun fact, Cece was on the episode where I covered the first Camp Rock.
oh wow, that's cool.
So like we met at a camp, we covered Camp Rock, cool stuff.
That's pretty cool.
But yeah, I feel like it would do pretty well. I don't think that it feels old in any way, and it feels really timeless actually.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with what you mean. I think that like overall, considering how it is like a movie about camp, like, and they didn't really have to focus too much on like the technology because it's like they're at camp, so they're not on their phones or
Mm-hmm.
anything. So I feel like that sort of helps. And I think that despite being a little, I feel like also the thing about this movie, the reason why like I've watched it like time and time again, like especially at the first Camp Rock, is that it doesn't really like have the same cheesiness as other Disney movies. It like almost feels like a movie you'd watch as a teenage, like almost like as a movie you'd watch as a
Mm-hmm.
teenager. It's not like the exact same cheesiness, and the songs are good, the actors are amazing. At like they're obviously amazing people like as actors. And what was I gonna say? But yeah, I agree with what you mean. The only thing is I'd think is that like maybe it would be a little bit too cheesy.
Oh, it's definitely cheesy. I feel like it was cheesy back then. I feel like it's cheesy now, and I think that's just okay because it's Disney Channel.
Mm, yeah.
Well, that wraps up this episode of the podcast.
Oh
So
my
I want to thank
gosh.
you so much for coming on the podcast, and you can take it away, plug your socials, your TikTok, Instagram, your podcast, whatever.
Okay, thank
Take
you
it
so
away.
much. So my podcast's Instagram is just at Brown Girls Rising Pod, and then my TikTok is the same thing at Brown Girls Rising Pod, and I post episodes. Well, I don't want to say exactly how often I'm posting because I'm not sure yet because I just got back into it, but I have a lot of exciting things coming up, so stay on the lookout.
Yeah. So once again, thank you. And you guys can follow me on Instagram at That's So Matthew, Twitter at That's So Matthew1, TikTok at That's So Matthew, Facebook, facebook.com/. That's So Matthew. You can also go to my website, that'ssomatthew.com, and check out all the fun stuff on there, merch and all that fun stuff. What else? You guys can also subscribe to my newsletter on there.
Ooh,
Yeah,
I'm
newsletters.
gonna subscribe to your newsletter.
Yeah, you should do it. Let's do it. What else? I think that's it. Once again, thank you guys so much for listening. Stay tuned for tomorrow's ep if you're listening to the day that this comes out, I guess. For my 2-year anniversary special.
I'm excited for that. That's
Yeah,
pretty
it's gonna
cool.
be really exciting. I'm actually making a big announcement on the day that we're recording this on my podcast. Like
Ooh.
recording it on my Instagram. So after this episode, I'm gonna post it. So stay tuned. But thank you
That's pretty
guys so
cool.
much. I appreciate it. And thanks so much for listening. Bye.
Bye.